Hi all, Sarah here from Hibiscus Neuro Rehab. I'm just checking in today. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a practical demonstration, and the reason I wanted to do this is it came up in classes the other day with some of my Parkinson's clients about what are some of the best exercises for stretching that you should be doing with your Parkinson's. Now, we know that to manage your Parkinson's, you need to do lots of different exercises, stretching being one component, but stretching shouldn't be the only thing that you do, and that's come out from the guidelines quite clearly. But I feel that it's really important that you keep a lot of mobility going with your Parkinson's, especially if you start to get that sort of flexed forward posture that can occur. So I wanted to talk about 4 exercises that I've seen that I think most people should be including in their rehab program during the week. 1 for your hands, 1 for your feet, and 2 for your spine and mobility. Now, some of these are what you do on the floor, so they might not be for everyone, but think about the principles because you can change them and adapt to them. And that's what's really important, that you are working with a therapist or someone that can help you with these. So the first one is for the wrists. What I often see is people with Parkinson's can get really tight through here and through their hands and often lose extension. And the reason that's an issue, it's really hard to push up if you don't have enough range. It's hard to pick things up if we have to reach forward and get something. So it's important to try and keep that range. So I like to do what we call sort of the prayer stretch. It's where you put your hands together. Now keeping the bottom of your hand together, try and push down and keeping those palms together, give yourself a nice stretch. If you start to do that, you know you're not stretching through that wrist, but that would be a good one to do. So with these stretches, you're thinking about holding them for at least 30 seconds to 1 minute. And depending on how tight you are, you might like to do them 1, 2, or even 3 times a day if there's something you want to specifically focus on. Now for the back, if we think about it. So these are some of my favorite ones to keep mobility through the spine. Now what you need to do first of all is come on to all fours, and you can do this on the ground or a hard surface. I wouldn't recommend doing it on your bed unless that's the only place you can do, because often it's quite soft. So what you would do here is you think about mobilizing the spine. So what we would call cat-cow or cat-camel. So you're sticking your bottom up, arching your back, and then rounding through. And I would be going through 4 to 5 repetitions of each, at least to start with for that one. So the second one is for upper trunk mobility and rotation. So that's what we would call thread the needle. And you'd start where you take one arm away, you'd look right up to the ceiling, and then come through, feeding between your arms and really trying to reach across so you're twisting your spine. Coming up and through. So those are some really good ones that we can do for your spinal mobility. Good for anyone if you can get in your hands and knees and keep that mobility, because it's important that we keep a lot of flexibility and mobility to help us with how we're moving. So the other one that I think is really important is calf stretches. So I'm going to come over to the wall so you can hopefully see my feet. Great. I'm just going to adjust the camera just so you can see a little bit more. So we're thinking about coming up against the wall. We've got both feet going forwards. Your feet are facing forwards. We don't want them turned out to the side because we want that heel directly on the ground. And if I was, so it looks like this. And sometimes that might feel quite good, so you might need to bring the leg in and then sitting down to stretch that deeper calf muscle. If we come and look at that from the side, you're like that. Or if you're doing that deeper soleus, you can sit down. So those are some stretches that I would recommend to help out with mobility and Parkinson's. If you've got any questions or anything, feel free to pop them in the comments below, or share these with someone that you think might find them beneficial. If you're struggling with your mobility or to know what to do, feel free to reach out. We're always here to help. Have a great day. Bye for now.